When you look at China's export to the GDP ratio, it's 19.7%. This is way below the world average of 29%, 29.3%. So the reason that people see China as an export sort of powerhouse is because China's economy is simply so large. So even just 19% of the GDP, is on exports, it makes it such that China is the top one, right, exporter in the world. But that said, China does have an enormous domestic market. And as Andy just mentioned, and as I also mentioned many times, that China is a high saving country. That means that's the potential pent-up demand that can be released through some policy stimulus, but also more importantly through some structural reform. So I think this trumps this decoupling gambit. If it's utilized as an opportunity, it could really help China to transform its economy to be much more domestic demand driven, especially household consumption driven. So I think there is a huge potential, but at least in the short term, I think many of this policy moves, including potential 2 trillion even more, special bond issuance, some more fiscal stimulus that could likely happen in April's Politburo meeting. I think those will present a great cushion, a help to boost the economy, at least in the short term. But in the long term, I think earlier you mentioned this different kinds of trading system that China may look into more in the ASEAN countries, in the regional integration, but also work with EU, with Africa, with Latin America. I think there's still great potential to form those new trading relationships. Now, China may not be as a large net exporters to other countries, which could be a good thing for both China and other countries as well. But I could see that trade would continue to proceed, even the United States does not participate in it.